Good morning. Welcome. I'm Nicole, and today's class is all about non attachment. That's our theme. So, as we work into some fun poses and work ourselves up to crow or Bakasana, just keep yourself aware and mindful of what you may be attaching to during this time, and um, maybe see if you can let it go. So hopefully we'll have a little fun in the process and just paying attention to what comes up for us. So enjoy. Let's get started. For this class, you may need a couple of blocks. No worries if you don't have blocks at home. You can use books or some cans or, just skip it and modify as needed. We'll use those later. All right, so we're going to get started laying on our backs today in effortless rest pose. So you can come to your back. Go ahead and bring your feet wide on your mat and let your knees knock in toward each other. And take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And let yourself settle in here. Get really heavy. Allow your eyes to close. Take a nice inhale. Sigh out the mouth. Exhale. And again, inhale. Sigh it out. One more time. Inhale. Sigh it out. And now just seal the lips lightly and continue the breath in and out through the nose. No need to try to control the breath at this point. Just allow yourself to feel the breath moving in and out of your body without any effort from you at all. Notice where your attention is, and if it's moved to the mind and paying attention to your thoughts, now see if you can shift that to the things that are happening within the body, to the senses. So start to notice the sounds around you. Notice the smell in the air and the temperature. Feel any breeze on your skin. Swallow, relax your tongue, and taste anything in the mouth. And even with your eyes closed, notice anything you may be seeing. Any kinds of shapes, colors, light. Now just bringing a little awareness to the breath again. Be begin to lengthen your inhale. Fill the belly and notice the belly expanding on the inhale, everything filling up. And let the exhale carry it away. Making that exhale a little sharper and a little stronger, pushing the last bit of air out. Keep going with that rhythm, fully expanding as you inhale, fully releasing as you push the last bit of air out on the exhale. So as we start to lengthen and deepen the breath, we also start to wake up the deep core with those exhales as we pull the belly button down toward the spine and empty everything out. This is something we're going to continue to practice the rest of the class. It's this deep core work. So just taking a moment to feel the deep core as you take that complete exhale. And notice it start to wake up. The pelvic floor muscles wake up. The low belly. Just take 3 more breaths like that. Finish your 3rd breath. Start to slowly bring the right knee in toward the chest. Take your time. Okay, you can stay right here, just hugging the knee closely in toward the outside of the right ribs a little bit. Or you can lengthen the left leg straight down to the mat. Squeeze it in a little bit and really make that bottom leg, if you're having it straight as you can. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and out. Circle the knee a few times in that hip socket, both directions. And taking the knee again to the outside, way outside the rib now. Find a half happy baby pose. So you may grab onto the ankle, back of the leg, maybe the outer edge of the foot. See if you can keep that left hip heavy and glued to the ground. Relaxing through the neck, through the shoulders. Stay with your steady inhale and exhale. Finishing your next exhale, release the leg, bring the knee back into the chest. Hold on with the left hand, reach the right arm out to the right. Opening up, inhaling here. And exhaling to pull the knee across for a gentle spinal twist. Maybe looking toward the right hand. Fill the lungs completely, expand everything. Empty fully, let it all go. One more breath. Exhale, come back to center. Go ahead and bend both knees again, put both feet on the floor. Hug the left knee in. Stay here or lengthen the right leg out now. Just keep it squeezed in for a moment. Feel the breath in this position. opening up the knee. Start to make a few circles. Feeling into any places that feel like they might be a little stiff or crunchy. Coming back to center. Take the right hand to the knee. Take the left arm out to the left. Inhale here. And then exhale to gently pull the knee across. You don't have to go super deep to get the expression of the twist. Feel the spine moving in this direction. So just be gentle. Not attaching to the way that any pose is supposed to look. Being open and available to how it feels in your body. One more inhale. Exhale and coming back slowly to center. Hugging both knees in now. Rock yourself slightly side to side. A little massage in the sacrum. Then keep the right knee in again. Lengthen the left leg out, but don't let it touch the ground. So it's just hovering a couple inches off the ground. Then bring the head up to meet the knees. There's your exhale. So we're just going to work with this movement, switching back and forth with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. So stay with your long, deep breath and just keep that going. Keep the low back moving toward the floor. Keep the shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. Just a little longer. Maybe a little faster. For the last 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both knees in. Separate your knees. Bring your arms to the inside of your knees so that your elbows are right on the inside of your knees, and squeeze your knees into your elbows. Strengthen your inner thighs and press the hands away from you. Now breathe here. Squeeze the heels towards your butt for one more breath. And exhale. Release the head down. Taking the hands behind the thighs now. Hug yourself into a tight little ball, chin toward chest, and then rock back and forth a few times along the length of your spine until you can come all the way up and find hands and knees. When you find your hands and knees, stack your shoulders over your elbows and your elbows over your wrists. Spread your fingers open wide. And stack your hips right over your knees. Let the shins and the tops of the feet come flat. Inhale as you drop the belly down. Lift the sit bones, lift the crown of the head. Exhale as you round. Tuck the chin to the chest. Push into the floor, tuck the tail. Moving through cat and cow with the breath. Inhaling. Open up along the front of the chest. Exhale. A few more times. Allow the breath to move you into the pose. Two or three more. Let this feel good. Remembering that our cues are coming from how it feels. And knowing that each day may feel different when you do these poses. So we're not attached. Or at least we can practice not being attached. Coming back to the hands and the knees, come back to a neutral spine. Take a little flow from this knees and hands position. and it'll go with the breath too. So we'll go a little slow the first time, and the second time we'll go a little faster with the breath. As you're ready, inhale, press into your hands, lift the right knee out to the side. As you exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, point the leg straight back, arch the back, look up. Then exhale, bring the knee to the nose, really squeeze in, push the floor away. And again, inhale, take the leg straight back, arch, look forward. And as you exhale, keep the elbows squeezing in and bend them as you come halfway down into a chaturanga arms. So it's up to 90 degrees, keeping the leg up. Push the floor away and set the knee down. Other side, inhale as you bring the left knee out. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, swoop it back, look up and arch. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, swoop it back, look up. Exhale for that push up. Inhaling up and exhaling down. One more time each side. Inhale. Exhale, straighten it out. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale it back. Look out. Exhale, dip it forward. Inhale, push away. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, left knee out. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, take it back, look up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, take it halfway down. Inhale, push the floor away. And exhale, set it down. Tuck the 10 toes under, sit back onto the heels. Take the arms as straight as they can go, hands as wide as your mat, wide as your shoulders. Like down dog arms. Now hug the outer arms in. Draw the shoulders down the back. Drop the head. Look back toward the knees. Just pause here. Feel the strength of the arm. And now pick up the knees 1 inch off the floor, hovering here, bear pose. Press the chest toward the thighs. Straightening the arms as much as you can. Hug them in. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, rise to the toes. Lift way up with the sit bones. Keep the arms straight and strong. And exhale, release the heels toward the floor. You don't have to touch, and the knees can stay a bit bent if you need. Pedal your dog if you like. Walk it out. Taking 2 more breaths here, settle into your stillness in the pose. Last inhale. And as you exhale, bend the knees, look toward your hands, just walk your feet toward your hands. Coming into forward fold, Uttanasana at the front of your mat. Bend your knees quite a bit, lay the chest on the thighs. Fingertips on the floor, or maybe grabbing onto your opposite elbows here. Checking in here, noticing where your thoughts are. Are you still present? Are you still feeling the sensations of the body, being with the breath? Or have you wandered away in your mind thinking about what's after this or what already happened this week? Come back to the breath, back to the body. That is practicing non-attachment. Taking another inhale here. If you have the elbows, exhale and release the arms. Inhale, slide your hands up the shins, press the shins away and come halfway up. Pause here a moment and make your spine from your tailbone to the crown of your head as long as you can. Fill the belly as you inhale. Exhale as you pull the belly button back with a sharp breath. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale, fold back in, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Take your hands to your waist. Exhale, stand all the way up. Bringing your hands by your sides now. Pause in Tadasana, mountain pose. Press your feet into the floor. Mound of the big toe, the mound of the pinky toe, the center of the heel. From that rooting down, can you feel your body rebounding up and lengthening all the way through the crown of your head? Take a moment. Feel the pose. And then on your next inhale, take the arms, lift them high, look up toward the thumbs, and as you exhale, fold into the legs, back to Uttanasana. Inhale as you lengthen, halfway lift, and exhale as you plant the hands down, step the left foot back to a lunge. Sink the hips, keep the heart lifting. Stay and breathe. Back leg strong, pressing the heel back. One more breath. Planting the palms firmly on the mat now. See if you can press the floor away. Pick that foot up and send it back. Plank pose, top of push-up. Take the gaze forward to the front of the mat. Tilt forward as if you were going to look over the edge of a cliff. And we're going to lower all the way to the ground slowly, keeping the elbows by the sides. Lower, slowly. Release the tops of the feet with the hands by the chest. Inhale, push the floor away to come up just for a little baby cobra. Again, elbows squeezing. Back muscles working. Exhale, lay it down. And again, inhale for a cobra. Coming up. Maybe a little higher this time. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, coming up, cobra. Or if you're feeling ready, push into upward facing dog, lifting the thighs. And exhale. Find downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And as you exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step to your hands again. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. And exhale, tuck it in, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Hands to the waist, exhale all the way up. Inhale, reach the arms up. Look up. Exhale, keep the spine long, diving in, bending at the crease of the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, right foot steps back, lunge. Low lunge, sinking the hips low, but reaching the heart forward and high and long. So there's extension in the spine happening rather than this rounding happening, right? So nice and long, taking another breath in here. Strong legs. Last inhale, plant the palms. Exhale, push into the mat, lift the leg and send it back, plank pose. Inhaling here, look forward. Exhale, you can lower to the ground or you can lower halfway. You can always use your knees here. Inhaling, up dog or cobra. Exhaling, down facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath, inhale. And as you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Now step your feet or hop to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale with a flat back, rise all the way up. And exhale, take the hands to the heart center. Let's go one more time. Release the hands. Inhale, reach up. Look up, lengthen, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, dive in, hips push back. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look out. This time as you exhale, either step back or hop back to chaturanga. Bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. One last breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Keep it going a little bit. So as you're ready, go ahead and shift forward, find plank pose. Lift the right foot up an inch and exhale, bring the right knee to the right tricep. Now inhale it back to the sky. Reach up, one leg down dog. And exhale, bring the foot and step it between the hands. Sink the hips low, just like we did before, and when you're ready, if you like, take the option of full crescent. So you can also just be here with the hands on the knee. This is good too. Or take the hands all the way up. Let your hips sink a little low. And let the torso, both sides of the waist, get longer without the ribs poking out. So those front ribs stay soft. Take another big breath in. Another exhale to sink a little deeper. And now inhale, straighten the legs. And exhale, take the hands down and step the back foot just a little bit closer so that it can set down flat for pyramid pose. So both hips are squaring toward the front of your mat. Front leg is straight. You can come halfway up here. You might want to use a block. And then fold in toward that front leg. Last inhale. Last exhale. Come halfway up. Take that back leg back a little further so you can find a lunge. And either step back to downward facing dog or take a vinyasa in between. Find your way back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, shift forward, plank pose. Lifting the left foot, and on the exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, lift it up and back, one leg down dog. And exhale, step it through between the hands, sinking the hips low. As you're ready, inhale up. Finding the full crescent pose. Keep that back hip, that right hip, pushing forward. And keep the left hip tacking back. Woo. Arms reaching up. Belly pulling in. So there's the support of your core happening here. And look up if you can. Lift the heart, take another breath. Now inhale, reach up. Exhale, take the hands down, step the back foot forward, set it down flat. Level out the hips, move even with each other. Inhale, lift halfway, and exhale, fold in. You can keep the front knee a little soft, it doesn't have to be super straight and locked out. The breath moving freely, flowing, long and deep. Last inhale. And as you exhale, step that back foot back a little further. Step back to downward dog or back to plank pose as you inhale. And exhale. Move through the vinyasa. But don't be attached to doing every vinyasa. Oftentimes it's those personal desires that we're so attached to that make us suffer. And if we could just let go of what we think we should be doing or what we think should happen, we can be open to what actually is happening. We find that there's bliss, there's joy in whatever the universe is handing us, is giving us in that moment. Even if it's painful sometimes. Take another deep breath in your downward facing dog. Exhale, go ahead and release the knees down. Take a child's pose, sit back onto the heels, let the forehead rest onto the floor. Just 3 breaths here to check in. When you're ready to come back to downward facing dog, make your way there. And from downward facing dog, lift up to the toes. Inhale, fill the lungs, fill the belly. Exhale, bend your knees, look to your hands, and then step or hop to the front. Halfway lifting, come out and lengthen the spine. Forward fold, tuck it in. Inhale, halfway lift. Forward fold, tuck it in. Now bend the knees, sit the butt way back. You're sitting back into a chair or Utkatasana, chair pose. Bring the arms out in front. And sit low. Go ahead, taking another breath here. As you exhale, stand up into the left foot. Kick the right knee up. Lift it. Staying here, bring the knee as high as you can. Inhale. And as you exhale, step back to warrior 2 stance. Turn around. Open up your arms wide. Sit a little low in your warrior 2. Keep that left knee tracking open directly over the ankle, directly over the heel. Take a look at that back arm, make sure it hasn't fallen down here somewhere. Level it out. Take a glance over that left middle finger, soft and steady, smooth and deep with the breath. Now take the right hand to your back thigh, drop it down, look back at your back foot, and then take the left arm up to the sky, lean back for a reverse warrior, sink a little deeper. Breathe. Inhale, stretch longer. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the inside of the left foot. Spin the back foot onto the toes. And we're here in lizard pose. Both hands can go on the floor from the inside of the foot. Or you could drop down onto the forearms. Or you have your blocks there. Sometimes forearms on the block is nice. If you would like to make this pose a little less active and a little bit more stretchy, drop the back knee down. Just settle in for a few breaths. Let the head drop down and hang. 3 more breaths here. Inhale up to your hands if you went down to the forearms. Lift the back knee and strengthen up that back leg. Heel toe the left foot in so that you can take the left hand to the outside. Inhale, step back to plank pose. Exhale, take a vinyasa, lowering down or just push back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths in your down dog. As you're ready, inhale up to the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands, step or hop forward. Halfway lifting as you lengthen the spine. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, bend the knees. Utkatasana, chair pose. Let's take the arms down the ribs like wings this time. So working the upper back, muscles toward each other. Belly button pulls in, strong core. One more breath in. Now stand up, bring your left knee in towards your chest. Stay for the inhale, squeeze it up a little higher. And then exhale, step it back. Warrior 2 stance, you can adjust your feet. Finding your steady and stable warrior 2. Lengthen through both sides of the waist. Turn your head gaze over the right middle finger. Notice if you're tilting your pelvis forward and see if you can tuck the tailbone slightly and lift up through that low belly. Especially on those exhales, you'll feel the engagement happen there. Now take the back hand to the thigh. Look back at the back foot. Turn the front palm up and reverse the warrior. Without coming out of that bend in the front leg, right? So keep the bend happening. We're not here too much longer. So again, it's like, am I attached to the pose being easy? Am I attached to the pose being hard? Can I let go and allow it to be whatever it is? One more breath. Standing up, exhale, windmill the hands down inside that front foot. Might have to adjust a little, that's okay. So staying here in lizard, or maybe dropping the back knee down, maybe coming down to the forearms. See if you can let go of any tension in the back body, the neck, between the shoulder blades. One more breath. Finish the exhale. Lift the back knee. If you set it down, come up to the hands. This time, keep the front foot, the right foot where it is. Keep the hands where they are. And see if you can step the back foot all the way to the outside of the left hand. So first inhale. Exhale. And step it forward. So you can be here and finding your way into Malasana, yogi squat pose. Here we are. If your heels don't quite reach the ground, maybe put your block under your heels or roll up your mat so you have a little something to help lift you. Pausing here. Bring the thumbs right to the heart center. Lengthen and extend your spine. Let the tailbone get heavy. Good. Just one more full breath. Come out of this, we're going to come into a boat pose. So from here, sit back and And then see if you can bring the feet together. Lift the knees up, both toes. If you've got that block, try placing the block between your knees. It's always a fun little way to engage the thighs. Core is working, but the chest and the face are not stressed about it. 3 more breaths. Maybe move the legs a little straighter. One more inhale, lift up. And exhale, place the feet down. The next pose we're going to do is called Bakasana. And it's basically just picking yourself up off the ground from this seated position. So I like to use blocks. You don't have to. I have short arms, so when I try, I really can't pick myself up too much. So I like to use the blocks, but you can try it without. So hands are going to go right next to your hips, and we're going to bring the feet in close. So crossing the ankles, let the toes touch. Knees in close to your chest. Okay? You're going to inhale, lift the heart, and then exhale, push the floor away and lift the feet. Set it down. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, belly button draws back, lift up. Once more. Inhale, and we'll cross the ankles the other way. So inhale, and exhale, and release. All right. So I think we're ready for our peak pose, crow pose. Go ahead and come to squatting on your toes. And then the hands are going to come to the inside of your legs and place them about shoulder distance apart with the fingers spreading wide. Bring the knees right to the outside of your arms, just like we did when we were laying on our back in the beginning. And I like to start by getting my butt kind of high. Wrap the knees around the triceps. And then just like we did in that little flow from hands and knees, you're going to lean forward like you're looking over the edge of a cliff. Bend the elbows and see if maybe a foot comes up or maybe both feet come up. You've got to keep squeezing in with the knees and lifting the heels toward the butt. Try it a couple times. And if you get it, see if you can stay for a few breaths. See if maybe some things start to come up as you're holding. You know, and maybe as you're trying this, you're really attached to the idea of getting into crow. It's really just not necessary because all of the benefits come just from trying, just from showing up and letting yourself play full out. After you've tried crow a couple of times, you can come down onto the knees, sit on your heels for a moment, and rest. Bring the hands to the heart. Feel the beat of the heart against the thumbs. And then come on up to the knees. We're going to do a couple of camel poses. So go ahead and tuck the 10 toes under. And bringing the hands right to the low back, below the low back onto the sacrum actually. Squeeze the elbows in toward each other. And lift up through the heart. So there's very little back bend that happens. Just a gentle push of the hips forward as you keep the heart lifted. The chin can move up toward the ceiling. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release back to the heels. Do one more. This time you may choose to go a little deeper. So for instance, you may end up bringing one hand to the heel while an arm reaches up. You also may come around bringing both hands But remember that it starts from this stability in the legs. So the inner thighs squeeze a little bit and the tailbone has to move down to give you that support. Then from there you can reach up. Exhale as you push the hips forward. And maybe a hand comes down. Maybe another hand down. 3 breaths. To come out, slowly push away from the heels. And back up. And back to the knees. If you'd like, take a child's pose, folding down over the thighs, resting the forehead on the floor, taking the arms down by the sides. Roll yourself up, ragdoll. And then go ahead and open up. We're going to open up into a half straddle. So keep one leg in. Take one leg out. First, just reach the right arm up, the same arm as the leg that's bent. You bend it behind you like you're trying to scratch an itch in the middle of your back. And reach up with the other arm. Pull that arm a little bit more behind. You can keep the arm here. Inhale, lengthen everything up. And exhale, just a little lean toward that straight leg. Try not to collapse with the chest. So keep lifting out and open. Release the arm, come up, inhale. And exhale, turn toward the straight leg, fold over. And checking back in with your breath. Are you allowing the inhale to expand the belly fully, all the way down into the pelvic floor, all the way up into the upper chest? And allowing the exhale to empty completely. Last full breath here. Inhale, come up with the arms. And take the right arm back behind you, same as the bent leg. Take the left arm, we're going to sweep it out in front as you lean into the bent leg and come up onto that knee. Take the arm back and behind you. Last breath. And exhale. Back around. Switch. Same arm as the bent leg comes up. Bend the elbow, reach back. Take the right arm. Nice and long in the waist. Inhale here. Press the head into the arms. Exhale, lean toward that straight leg. Do your best to keep both sit bones anchoring. Do your best to keep the chest lifting and rolling open. You don't have to go far to get this stretch. Last breath in. Last breath out. And inhale, coming up, release the arms. Turn toward the straight leg. Exhale, release down. Last inhale. And exhale. Up, Inhale and sweep that left arm behind you. Inhale. Rise onto the knee, lift the hips, open up like a big yawn. Last breath in. And exhale, release. Bringing both feet in now to meet. Inhale, lifting the chest, lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold over both feet. The shoulders drawing down and away from the ears. Finish your last inhale, last exhale. Come up. Bring the knees together. Grab your block if you have it. We're going to lay onto our backs for waterfall pose. So we'll use the block. From this position with your knees bent and your feet on the floor, take your block, slide it right under your low back. So it's actually a little bit above your sacrum for this one. It might feel awkward until we actually get into it. You might have to adjust. Okay, so all we're going to do is take the knees in and then lift the legs up. And so what you want to find here is that this is very effortless, like the legs are just floating. And if you feel like they're not, you might have to adjust the block a bit. Down a little further. And if you're not using a block, you can just lay on your back and lift your legs. Or if you have a wall next to you, you can take your legs up the wall and rest the legs on the wall. So this is a beautiful way to release the flow of blood from your feet back down into your head, back down into your upper body. Breathing here. Take a few more breaths like this. Just let them feel good. This moment to check in now with any expectations that you may still have for this practice, maybe for your day, maybe for your life. And just notice whether or not you are so attached to those expectations, to those personal desires, they're actually causing you to be miserable. And see maybe there's something, just one thing today that you want to let go of. Start to slowly let go of the pose, bringing the feet back down to the floor. Press into the feet, lift the hips up off the block and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Go ahead and from here, take the legs straight out. Let the feet flop open. Take the arms a little wide. Lift yourself up enough to just tuck the shoulders under enough so that the chest feels open and released. Turn your head side to side. Release any tension in the neck. Settle the chin toward the center. you've made it. You can let go of everything that's behind you now. Just surrender to the rest and the stillness. Take a few moments here in Shavasana. So begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to bring awareness back to your body. Take your arms up overhead. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Maybe a yawn. Curling up into a little ball. Roll over onto one side. Pausing in the fetal position. And press yourself up to seated. Close the practice. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for your hard work, your effort, and your willingness. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Namaste.